Hello and welcome to this Wiltshire Caravans handover video for this 2013 Lunar Ariva. As always, come with me. We start around the back just to show you everything. I got a new trainee camera operator today. Kaylee's doing the Spielberg stuff today. Right, so at the back we've got two grab handles. It's a nice small caravan, so we can move this around quite nice and easily. You've also got your light clusters, so you've got your brake lights, running lights, indicators and your fog lights. And over this side you've got a reversing light as well. Area for your number plates and of course your corner steadies at the back. Okay, follow me around and we get to the first thing we get to on the offside is the exciting part, not the loo. So this is where you put your toilet flush in. This is the flush reservoir. So this is where you see the pink fluid. I always used to use a 2-litre pop bottle, put a little bit of pink fluid in there, top it up with water and then just pour that in. You'll know when it needs refilling because you'll press the flush button and no water comes out. There you go. This is the best bit. Everybody's dream, the cassette. You'll know when it needs emptying because there's a light that comes on near the flush button. But it's the standard Thetford fitting, so lift that orange button, pull out. If there's some resistance when you pull out, it probably means you've left the flap closed, or open, sorry, inside. You need to close that, otherwise you might damage this. You can take this away like a trolley dolly, but take it to wherever you need to empty it. This comes forward, take that lid off. Okay, I'm not going to for the moment, but take that lid off. You'll then need to put it over the big hole of brown stuff and press that orange button at the top there to release any air pressure. You'll want to rinse this out then. So lid back on. When you do take the lid off, put it somewhere safe. You don't want it falling into the hole because you'll have to go and get it. But then slide this back, open that. There'll always be a hose pipe around, bit of a rinse around, close everything up. Close that, make sure your lid's back on, give it a swirl, repeat the process. Very, very straightforward. You'll want to put some blue fluid in it, or green, depending on what your preference is. On the lid, there's always markers of how much to use. Read the bottle clearly. It'll say how much you should use and then whether you need to dilute or not. I never used to dilute it because we only have a weed in it. And quite frankly, I was always going to dilute it quite quickly anyway. Coming up winter time, this is very important and I always bang on about this. You want to empty this reservoir, you don't want it freezing up. So under there's a little pipe. Have a bucket with you because it will come out quite quickly. Take out that bung and then just to make sure it's all empty. As I said, for winter particularly, you don't want any fluids in your caravan. At that point, once you've emptied it, put it back in, lock it up in case someone else has lost their lid. Next thing we come across is the waste outlets. So these are the two waste outlets. We call it grey waste. So you'll have your two sinks, so your bathroom and your kitchen sink and your shower. That's the waste that goes into the waste master. You've then got a couple of vents. So these are your freezer and fridge vents. Not a lot to say about those. Then you've got obviously the alloy wheels. Now these are torqued up to 130 Newton meters. Hopefully someone will get the phone, otherwise we'll be pausing the video. Hopefully someone will be getting the phone. Never mind, I can always cut that bit out. They'll phone back in a minute anyway. We're still going? Excellent. Yeah, so 130 Newton meters on the wheel nuts. Next part, you get to the motor mover. That's a separate video altogether, so don't worry about this at the moment. Moving on a little bit more, we come to the battery box. So, unsurprisingly, we find a battery, and that's your electric hook up there. You've also got a little F-type connector antenna point in there, so if you need to connect an external antenna. And we also have the isolator for the motor mover, but again, as I said, don't worry about that now. That's a separate video altogether. Next part along, this is where your water goes in. Your water pipe, I should say, goes in. Well, your water will go in there. Bear with me while I just grab the pipe, the water pump. It's the Truma system on here. Not trauma, it's truma. So that's the bit that goes into your water barrel. That just goes over the lid to stop any dirt or detritus getting in. In we go. Just in there, literally just push and a wiggle, and in it goes. Very simple. And when you're taking it out, trigger, wiggle, 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 pull it out. Very straightforward. And I'll show you where to turn the pump on inside. This is just the exhaust port for if you're running on gas for your hot water and heating on the Truma system. That is just the gas exhaust, basically. Come round to the front. So in the gas locker, you've got room for 2 gas bottles, 2 6-kilo bottles. In there, we've also got the 25-meter electric lead, the engagement bar for the motor mover, leg winder, and a spare wheel. Okay, set up for propane. We can set it up for butane if that's required. Running on the Alco chassis, this doesn't have ATC, but it has got the stabilizers. Again, I've got a separate video for hitching up, you know, for the newbies of the world. Come around the front. A bit of information down here on the weight plate sticker. What we have here, we've got the CRIS number, we've got the maximum plated weight, which is 990 kilos, so it's nice and lightweight. Alloy wheels says 115 Newton meters. That was updated to 130 Newton meters. And the steel wheel is 85, and that's if you have to put the spare wheel on. Very straightforward. Right, that's your awning light, obviously. Come on in. That's the vent for the microwave, I think. I'm gonna have to look at that, I don't know now. Follow me. Yes, that is the vent for the microwave. Excellent, at least I got that right. So here we are. I believe compact is the very correct term for this, but it's still quite spacey. There's still enough in here. And it has got everything you want. And I'm going to show you how to use it. Right, this could be interesting, because you need to get over there. Because you're going to need to see there. Okay, so I'm hanging out outside the caravan. No, I'm still here, don't panic. Right, controls, very straightforward. Master, that's your main power button. Awning, that's your awning light. Light, for lights that haven't already come on. Pump, when I showed you where that water pump goes in, when your water pump's in, just press the water pump and it'll come through nicely. There is a little trick, and I'll show you that in a little while. If you turn everything on, and the power you've plugged into the electric, and that's up to your normal, if you can see that, I don't know if you can, up to around about 13 volts. But if you see that dropping, or your fridge isn't getting cold, or it's beeping at you, it might mean that your electrics aren't connected correctly. And I can show you how you find that out. He says on his hands and knees. Down here we've got the fuses and the breaker switch. So literally check these. They're all labelled up. You can't really go wrong. So hopefully there shouldn't anything go wrong. But to test whether you've got power coming into the caravan from a 230 volt supply, press that button. If that comes down, which it has, it means they've got power coming into the caravan. If it doesn't go down, you haven't got any power to the caravan, so it could be that the breaker switch on the pole is gone, or your electric lead is not quite right. We will be going back under there again shortly. But very straightforward. So lights, they've all got individual light switches on, and the water pump. Straightforward. Being in the UK, hot water and heating is very important to us. Especially some of our winters, sometimes it's too hot. But this is the Truma heating system. Power on. Press and hold. Really? Thank you. Eventually it got there. Okay, so where it's got the thermometer and degrees C, that's how warm. What's the minimum temperature you want to be in the caravan? Press that, and it's very simply up, down, up, up, down, up, and press set. So that will say the heating, we want it to be a minimum of 20 degrees centigrade. or Celsius, whatever it is these days. The next one, what power are we going to use? So press it, and at the moment we're on 230 volts, which is and at 4 amps. You have got the option of going to 230 volts and 8 amps, so that will heat things up much more quickly. However, at that point you might find, thank you, set, back. I'm getting all ahead of myself. You might find that if you use that, then turn on your microwave or your kettle, you might pop the pole if you've only got 10 amps. So I would say set it there. It does still warm up fairly quickly, but if you do need to heat it up even faster, yes, you can go on to the 8 amps, or you can also use 4 amps and gas, or just use gas by scrolling down and choosing what you want to use. It's very straightforward indeed. Okay. Next one, the shower symbol, it's the hot water. For the winter setting, you've either got water off, as in no heat to it at all, or the water at 60 degrees. I'm not going to turn it on to 60 degrees because we've got no water in the system and I don't want to burn out the boiler. But literally, again, all you would do is press on there and then press set. Like I say, I'm not going to do that. That would be foolish. If you press and hold set, you get to that basic menu. Timer 1, timer 2, summer or winter, you can set it. Set the clock to whatever time you want. Set timers if you want to set timers. Buzzer on or off, I'd keep it off because it will drive you nuts otherwise. Set backlight, so you can turn the backlight down so it's not quite so bright. But as you can see, it's asking the water to go on to 40 degrees because we've set it on summer. We need to get it on to winter. Set. And then make sure you go back, and now we're on at water at 0 degrees. Clear as mud? Excellent. It is straightforward. I probably made it look more complicated than it is. If you've got any questions about it, just shout. Don't be shy. Give us a call on 01373 752 100, option 1. That will get us through to the sales team. I was talking about water. Water, very important not to be in a caravan when it's frosty or freezing out. What I'm going to do, let's just lift all this up. I want to show you where the drain down valve is. So here's your boiler here, and heat all your heating stuff here, and your boiler. That yellow tap there is your drain down valve. In that position, that's let all water out of the caravan. When you do have it in that position, also open all your taps. That way the air will go through the system. You'll have no water in here. Very important, because you don't want any frost damage. Frost damage is never covered under any kind of warranty either, so be aware. But that's at the moment, let all water out. If you want water to come in, just do that. But I will make sure it stays out. That's just a pressure switch. If you find the pressure's not quite, or it's pulsing or whatever, you can use that a quarter turn at a time just to make sure you're okay getting the right pressure for the caravan. Don't expect it to be like home pressure. It simply isn't. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get up from it. Oh yes, you can. Look at that, what a young spring chicken I'm not. The bed. To make the bed up, slats just come out, and to put them back, slats just go back in. You have a little table here. Very straightforward. I was saying about light switches earlier on. You've got individual light switches. You've got light switches on here. You must have a light switch on that side as well. You do. So half the fun you're going to have is finding out where all these light switches are. Okay. Blackout blinds, fly screens on all of the windows. Be aware that when you're putting them back, hold on to them, otherwise they will spring back. You don't really want that to happen, he says, unable to get one back. There is the obligatory rubbishy car stereo, stolen from a 1987 Renault Clio. It has got a CD in it, so that's exciting. Coming back to the more important stuff, microwave. Yeah, it does microwavey things. It does have a plug here So you can take that out if you don't want to isolate it. If you want to use it, you just need to press on the eco button, and on it comes. I always say take the plate out when traveling. I mean, this is covered, but I would take that plate out. Area for TV, so you've got more light switches, area for TV, coax or F-type, and you've got another 230 volt socket there. Fridge, nice and straightforward. So at the moment it's off. If I want to use electric, turn it on to electric. If I want to use it on the car alternator, so as long as the fridge is already cold, that will maintain a temperature. However, it will not cool it down from the start. So you have to kind of, you know, judge it. As long as your 13 pin or your 2 7s are working correctly on the car, that should maintain the temperature. Or you can run it on gas. So turn it on gas. That will fire up the gas. It's not going to do anything now because we're not plugged in, but that is the way to do that on gas. It is always fairly advisable to put your fridge on gas every now and then, simply because it just keeps the system running as such, and it does actually cool things down faster than electric. Freezer box and fridge bits, not a bad size for such a nice compact, shall we say, caravan. Got a freestanding table in here. You've also got your TV aerial, so when you get on site and you want to tune your television in, undo that, push the shaft up in the air, turn that round to whatever direction everyone else has got their aerial in, and then retighten up there and retune your television. You've got a booster up there for the signal, that works for the radio and for the TV. Mind you, don't fall out the back. I don't think I could quite cope with that much amount of laughter. Thank you, Kaylee. So, oh, she's gone. Oh well, man down. Called a search party. Okay, so the cooker has got 1 electric hob and 3 gas burners. Obviously, the electric hob will stay hot, so don't put the lid down when it's still hot. To prevent anything untoward happening, if someone goes around going, oh, did I knock that by accident? There is underneath, he says, there, a plug. Again, I'll take it out just to, he says, you might not take it out. Good God, someone stuck it in with super glue. Also in here, I don't think you can see it, but do you want me to take that a second? Can you? There's some isolators for the gas. However, if you're using propane, it's very simple just to turn the gas off at the bottle, then fire up one of the burners. Within half a second, that's clear. So you've also got separate grill and oven. And we have a Kaylee, a very shy Kaylee. There you go, shy Kaylee. So into the bathroom. It's a wet room. Got the toilet and a shower and a sink. It's got everything you need in a bathroom. Let Kaylee go in. And I'll just show you 2 things in here. So I said that the light comes on by the flush. Well, that's where the light comes on. I also mentioned about closing the flap on the toilet. That's the flap down there. So you must make sure it's closed when you're going to empty the... So it's open now. Make sure it's closed. And of course the seat does swivel round quite happily. Ooh. Pretty much not an awful lot else I can tell you about these caravans. We go through on the handover, we show how everything works. These videos are just useful to refer back to, because I know it's like you get some Herbert like me going blah 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 for an hour or whatever, and then you get it on site and you go, nope, don't remember any of that. So that's what the videos are good for. You can always call us as well, 01373 752 100, option 1. Email sales@wiltshirecaravans.co.uk. But for me, for now, that's about it. Remember, if you do enjoy these videos, please like and subscribe. But if you've got any questions about this or any of other handover videos, just ask. All right, thanks for your time. See you again soon.